But Heroic, if they want to justify this roster, have to win this game, have to go through to the consolidation final, and even then should be looking to win the whole thing.
Yeah, man, we're in a very interesting place as we head into Inferno. Finest with a T-side start. And we're hitting the ground running right away. Heroic are going fast in through the apartments. They've got a lot of room, but there's only one man over here towards B. Stound's got to do it all alone. He's asking for rotates. His teammate's dead. And now it is just one man to hold down the B site. They're running at him. They want this kill. They're chasing it all the way into the ruins. And that might come back to hurt them. Stound with a double before all is said and done. And now Heroic, it's these two players sent through the apartments earlier on, left in the 2 versus 3.
Oh, they got to be quick though. No kit. That's a good shot for Kriaz, and no chance now. Cadian's going to get double peek. Kriaz running him down, does offer up a frag, but Cadian's not going to get any more than that. They're tucked in, back of the bomb site, deep in spawn, and Cadian's just hunting for his own demise. Shox will close it. And Finest, you saw how pumped up they were on that CT side, so oppressive, so suffocating. They keep it up, running wild on a T-half and not stopping. These guys know it is within touching distance. The consolidation final, the chance to go all the way and to take down Heroic in the process will be quite the win.
I mean, like, literally, if you beat Heroic here, it's like, well, where's the limit? How far does this go? Because Heroic were the favorites to win the entire event. They were the top dogs. And so, you know, a victory here and leaving you in a matchup versus either, you know, Big or Astralis, it's going to be a situation where, like, yeah, you could take down that team. We could have a world where Finest make it all the way to the grand finals. Consider
the fact that Big has said we'll have a stand-in for the playoffs as well. Yeah. That's a problem for them. For Astralis, they've not looked like they're in their top form either. They had a very troubling game against Imperial yesterday that they only just closed. Dude, yeah, if Finest can take down Heroic at a BO3 in the playoffs, sky's the limit at that point. We'll have to see if that's attainable, because remember, this is such a good home map for Heroic. It's such a great finale to this explosive series. They took down Na'Vi on this at the major, in the playoffs as well, in the series that they lost. So no excuses for Heroic, apart from this round, perhaps. Pistols and a scout. No damage done, and a lot of space taken on long.
I like that little underhand smoke from Cadian, right? When they're smoking library like that, it shows the intent was to wrap long into this A bomb site, so he's countered it by underhanding a moto smoke of his own. It's forced Finest to slow down, and they're now pushing in at under 20 seconds. They've got to be really clean, and it's Shush right now taking heads off. Cadian's in with another, and Shush is holding his cross into the site. And Arcare's dead in the library. Oh, Kriaz and Shox might get kills, but there's no winning this round. Heroic goes swinging in to close, and they reply with the force buy.
Yeah, that's one of those rounds where, especially when you're hitting a bomb site with 20 seconds, 15 seconds, it's the first domino, right? That first player falls to the scout shot, and then Heroic just start throwing themselves around corners, playing very aggressive. Cadian, perfect round from him, tucked in at cold box as well, waiting until there was too little time to even get that bomb plant. That's a hell of a round to steal away for Heroic, who, when they've won every pistol in this series, have converted them with ease. Finest haven't been able to. Already force bought back. Shush will start strong in the second, taking down Shox deep middle, and it's just pistols in the apartments. A couple of flashes to pop him out. Timing was there, but Shush quickly pulls his gun at the right second.
Yeah, looking like they want to try and group for something late over towards Banana here. And Arcare's front of the pack, but might just be the first one into the waiting gun of Stound, and there it is. AK gonna ring out with the opener and effectively shut down this attempt at a banana take. Pleasant's even been spotted in Boiler. That's a freebie, and so Twist. End of the line here, but Stound's gonna flush him out. And Heroic are able to best the force by return. They bring themselves up into the lead at 2-1, and now there's an eco to follow for Team Finest.
Yeah, those rounds are definitely way easier when you've picked up the second round. The follow-up force that is essentially required is always going to be weak, always going to be Deagle armor and barely any utility. So a must win for Heroic, and they do it. The full eco now, and the real game will start in round 5 with a full buy from Finest. Heroic just need to keep it clean, set the money up early on this CT side. I mean, this is, despite the last map, all the makings of Heroic coming in with a dominant CT side, something that is required at this point on Inferno. But despite that, we've seen very good T-sides this whole series, from Heroic back on Overpass, from Finest on Vertigo. Just going to be a lot harder on a map like Inferno when Heroic have that experience, have that tenure. And in this round, have a lot of space. Cadian all the way down Banana. Pistol's about to pop around the corner, but he wants to bring the fight to them. Oh.
Cadian making money,
dear.
however, they've lost the Banana push. And now there's a lot of space gained for Finest. They're running in. Will they get across with the bomb? No, they've slowed to fight. Nice. And that there is going to cost them dearly. And Arquez caught crossing, and Testa's there to get it back under wraps.
Would love to see a run boost there, right? They knew that was cooked, right? Double molly in spawn. They don't even have a smoke there picked up off of the bodies. And only way to make it through would be a run boost with such low health. But as far as an eco goes, Harry, you kill 2 players at the bottom of B with Glocks. You're going to be happy with that one. Heroic won't come out swinging with too much money into their follow-up gun round, and Finest can very much put them on pistols with just a couple in a row. Let's see if they can start strong with the rifles. Heroic begin with a heavy B setup. Poison Cadian with that AWP. They won't take Banana with much utility. They welcome Finest into the AWP.
Oh, Plesson's just got on the angle here, wanting to fight this. That flash knocks him off and actually forces him back into logs, which they then start to lob nades at. He tries to take one to the grave with him as he's burning in that molly. Not able to do so, and now Team Finest left wanting in this round. Heroic, they're getting back to their kind of mobile old selves, right? They had 3 over towards Banana early fighting, and now they've reinforced this A side of the map. Finest was split 2-2, trying to take a bit of real estate on either side of the map. However, it's only making matters worse. And Arquez now knocked out on a long push that he was attempting solo. And with 35 seconds left in the round, I almost wonder if we see it go any further than this. They don't have utility to launch anything. They've got a smoke and a flash, no options. And in the 3 versus 5, they do decide to just write this one off.
Yeah, if they want to play with guns next round, they've got to just fully save. And so that will be allowed by Heroic, who is still trying to set their money up. I think one thing that's really reassuring on a map like this, where Vertigo had a lot of holes on the CT side, B was getting cracked open, ramp fights stopped being won after the first 3 or so rounds for Heroic, is that you not only, like you said, can play that very mobile CT side setup where you win Banana, you go and stack up A, but someone like Stown is so good at solo B on this map. This round it was Cadian because Stown was low, he took the AWP on the rotate to long, but once you have, advantages on Heroic, they are going to be leaving Stown on B with 2 smokes, with a Molotov, and he's just so good at playing those fullbacks. Never gets picked as a solo B player, and it's very hard to get into the bomb site without Heroic often having 2, if not 3 players there by the time you commit. So something to keep your eyes out here on the CT side. Cadian's got his AWP back in hand. Wide peek towards middle, has to care ult, knows his time. Shox is here. See, sometimes players jump and bait the shot, but very risky on land. 2 players at B. Stown in the site. Tessa's ready with a smoke. Finest look like they do want to go. 1 lurker back on that A side of things. Everyone else poised and ready, trying to open up.
Nothing's going to come easily, though. Nothing's going to come for free here for Team Finest. They're going to have to get through this barrage of util if they did want to commit. Hopefully, they still keep attention over towards this B side of the map to work their way through Stound's belt of utility. Even though they're 3 strong here, that bomb is still heading up towards top mid. It's now started to change its tune a little bit, rejoining the banana offensive while Shox is lobbing some fake util out in towards this A bomb site. Finest, they're poised, they're ready to go for the B play. However, Cadian's 1 step ahead. Got this flash lined up and ready to go from CT. Gonna lob that in and make life easy for his site players. Chaining together all this utility is churning Finest up, and even though they're going to get that 1 kill, how much more can they really find? Cadian on the cross, that bomb goes tumbling away from Finest, and Shox, the last man to fall, couldn't do a thing.
Yeah, and this is why it's a little more reassuring for Heroic, right? Again, a B pop, but 3 players are already there. They don't fall for 1 man faking. Throwing in a long smoke at 30 seconds isn't going to make Heroic panic in this map. Refresh even peered through it as well, and that boost up is perfect. Even as he falls off, Cadian has the cover. He has the cross into the bomb site from Ruins. Perfect round from the in-game leader of Heroic. And right now, Finest are getting reality check, facing a top 10 team on one of, if not their best map right now. Still time to recover, but without bomb plants, you're just trading gun round into eco non-stop. You know, I love to buy into this Finest storyline, doing it in Sweden as the underdog, as you know, one of the bottom-rated teams coming into the playoffs. But at the same time, Heroic could not afford to lose this game.
Yeah, but you know, they've had their 2nd win. That's the thing, man. This is what Finest are going to learn. Like, it wasn't enough to just beat them once on Vertigo. Yes, it was impressive. It was 16-7. It was dominant. But Heroic weren't about to crumble solely on the back of that, right? Maybe you had it in the back of your head that it was a worry. But no, they've doubled down on this. You know, they've come back in looking refreshed. Cadian's been screaming the place down with every round that's been racked up on the board for Heroic. And so Finest now need to dig deep, man. They need to have their own resurgence here, or else this could be a non-starter of a 3rd map. Currently, the only round they've been able to put on the board was the pistol, and even then, the anti-eco in the 2nd was stolen away by Heroic, and since then, they haven't stopped putting rounds on the board.
Oh, nade stack up of B. Got to be careful. Stound, he's going to get dunked on 3 nades and 5 health. He is one lucky guy to be alive right now. Finest is still going to commit with that. They know they've done damage at least. There was a player on the corner throwing utility, but Molotovs will stop it. Finest double back anyway. Heroic are forced into a double pit setup. It's going to give a lot of room on A while Heroic panic that 3rd rotation over. How long will they hold it? They're already getting curious. Cadian pushing back in. Eventually Heroic will realize that Finest have deserted this position. Mid-smoke thrown from pit. Finest, you know, they don't know that. They just have to go running through into what could be a very dangerous A-hold.
Kriaz actually has great spacing here, though, all the way up the long side right, with now smokes down to help him. This pit holder's got to do it all. Alvarez drops in with a double, and the Tech-9. It gives them the kills needed to get this bomb down, get control of the site. Smoke's going to start to fade. That was the shot for Stound. That was the shot that really had to connect if Heroic want to go for this. Now that it hasn't, they're left hoping that the rifles are given something. And if not soon, maybe not ever, as they start to turn away. They're going to bow out of this round, give the respect to Finest. The Tech-9s are able to get the job done. And a 2nd round now on the board.
Sick eco win, right? Just playing off of what they know. They can make Heroic panic a little bit. They can make them drag rotates over. Exits denied and more guns given over. Pless is feeling good about that one. Finest armed and now dangerous onto a 2nd against the Danes. Very impressive. Despite that re-aggro, even for Cadian, getting a little bit more info back at Carr, that it was clear those rotations were not back in time for Heroic. And sick how Anarchez gets away with two, because that pit player was trying to drop the smoke on the Molotov, and Refresh gets completely caught off guard by the Glock falling in. It dinked him, and that was enough damage for Anarchez to capitalize on. 2 kills that quick on Inferno often will win you the round on the T side. Finest make it so.
Can't afford to be a one and done though, right? Full barrage of util into top banana, but they don't clear the sandbags. Tesses is allowed to go on a tear. Both Twist and Kriaz are throwing in to the meat grinder at top banana.
How many more mollies do you need, right? No wonder they don't check it. They threw 2 mollies up on car. They look like they spread perfectly. I don't know how Tesses found a pocket there that was clear. He heard it, and he will deal with it. Trade is too little, and it's too late.
If that connected, man, that could have been the start of something. Instead, you know, it's going to get some util out of the B hole. That's quite nice. However, still more than enough to defend this side of the map in these circumstances. Refresh might have been spotted here, but there isn't really util to punish him. And even then, he gets out anyway. Over on short, a missed shot for Katie and maybe gives Finest away back in. Shocks is deep up the short side, but cannot find the third. And with the bombs still in the bottom of mid for Pleston, this is a damage-dealing mission now. Waiting inside of the B smoke, creeping in, has gotten past them out at dark. It's not really ideal for him here. Isha's left saving in this round. There's no winning it. He would have loved maybe a chance to fight somebody there, just to take another gun out of play from the opposition, but not meant to be. Heroic are up onto 6. And that's in spite of Shocks' best efforts to make something happen at the end of the round in the 2v4.
Yeah, we need an activation from Twist, right? Shocks was doing so much work on that T side of Vertigo in finding opening kills and getting behind enemy lines for Heroic. Plaston went quiet in map 1. Twist is now 0-7 in map 3. We need everyone performing at Finest if they're going to take this game away from Heroic against the odds. Very nice try to freestyle that round and send both players into each site in a 2-on-5, but not to be. And Heroic still have a wealth of economy. 6-2, another AWP. Anarchez will meet him there. Heroic want to go back to a banana take. Smoke spam is good. Down, puts Blesson low, even pushes up in front of the Molotov. Full banana for Heroic right now. And again, Stown is left solo.
Oh man, this double apartment setup, you know, it's prone to getting overwhelmed if you're like double swung, but one guy peeking, that's exactly what Cadian wanted. Plucks him out of thin air, and even though they lose Refresh on the long side, Cadian is here to hold the line. They just faced him in the apartments, and now he's at long with that AWP, quick as ever. Is the IGL of Heroic, and he continues to put up bodies, put up numbers over in mid. Shush will hold the line with 1, and Anarchez doesn't even know where to begin in this round. A 1v4, no hope for Team Finest in this one. Time's the only thing he's got going for him, and even then, it's quickly becoming his enemy.
Cadian, don't miss these. And there it is, 4 kills on the big green from the captain. You know, he may be a bit of a comedian, but he doesn't want to be the butt of the joke in losing this matchup. He is taking matters into his own hand right now. Massive round out of the AWP. Puts a stop to Finest. Very clean shoot for Cadian. Smoke pushes all over the map, though, for Finest, right? They're looking for any way back in. They're not catching Heroic off guard, not yet at least. Now it's a Mac 10 buy, Tech 9s, 1 rifle. Good reason to keep it fast, but that bomb, it gets tagged on the cross. It doesn't, rather, it's a nades that do it. Tessus follows up, pushing back in front of the Molotov, and Heroic going 4-on-3. They can give it up now happily. In fact, leaving Tessus to solo the site after Stown's demise. Refresh will rotate back out. Good gap found, but the dink, or the damage rather, through the wall with the Deagle isn't enough. Shush holds on to Pit, and Finest are in a desperate spot.
Yeah, long smoke in. Problem you're going to have, Refresh already playing up ahead of it, not giving respect and wanting to fight with middle. He's got his team captain alongside him. Yeah. Acadia just takes his time to nail these shots, man. They're very rarely even looking at the guy. Kriaz 1 versus 4. And we're just under a minute left. Similar situation or Anarquez was in last round. Like, time's the only thing he's got going for him. And if he goes out middle, this double setup, man, it shouldn't. It would be almost more impressive to fumble this mid-hold than to get the kill. You know, they're so entrenched. They're set up in this crossfire. Only vulnerability is low HP Shush down in pit. Maybe that gives away for a MAC-10 to isolate these fights. But Heroic have realized that themselves, and they've kind of, you know, clamped down upon the apartments, and Cadian's there to close it. Very, very smart maneuvering just to eliminate any chance of that little 4v1 getting out of hand. They keep it very, very clean. The Finest would love to see a timeout here, would love to see a bit of a pause, try to cook up anything just to give you another round, a little nudge in the right direction. Because these kind of, you know, these faster ones over towards A where you're pushing through smokes, or, you know, you're dropping all your util up banana early on and then not even using that space. It's not really working so far. It feels a little empty compared to what we saw out of this squad just moments ago on Vertigo.
Yeah, for sure. They're not even getting chances to run B executes because not only is half their util gone in seconds, but also they're getting churned up by these nades, these mollies, this smoke spam for Heroic back down B. So Finest will give it up, trade a couple of bits of util, but it still looks like they want to execute in the early round. They know Heroic have started triple B off of the Molotovs, and that might be temptation, but already rotates drawn back. Heroic don't wait long to leave Tess's solo dolo, and Finest, if they want to commit here, they are walking into one hell of a predicament. Shox has found a gap. There's knives out. They're not even looking. He's going to get a freebie. Careful for the graveyard player. Cadian gets pre-fired on the wallbang. Can't flick back to find Stout instead. He will hold on, and still this commit comes in. Molotov burns out Stout, but this is a chance to slow down in the mid-round, send that bomb back off of Anarquez's position.
Yeah, the B-Wrap. Kriaz looking to punish these rotations. And as he hears them coming in, he might even give the call that, actually, guys, I'm out on A right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Refresh. Oh, my God, he does win it. Anarquez shot in the back. He had util out. Now, where does the bomb want to go? There's a world where it could go running into Cadian in top mid. This is so awkward. Cadian's threading the needle. He's made it past the man in the apartments. Now he's got the bomb trapped. Oh, it's a missed shot. He knows this is slowing. Finest are coming his way. Cadian nails the first, but Pleston just about makes it by. Just gets back into that A-bomb site and the safety that it provides. Heroic have to slow this one down. 3v2 in the retake. They might put a bit of faith in Cadian in the apartments to make the first move. He's going to go ahead and group with Tesses on the short side. Tesses the man to lead the charge, Cadian the one to trade if it comes down to it. Kriaz and Pleston playing this crossfire inside of the site. Now all their attention on the short side. They're both having to consider too many options. And there's the swing out of Heroic. Finest felt so antsy, so uncomfortable in that 2v3. They were begging that a fight came in, and they got nothing till all three swang at the same time for Heroic.
There must have been so much calming going on in that round as well when Anarquez slipped the net and spawned. Right, Refresh is running with his nades out in CT, and he still wins that fight to Anarquez. The turnaround is too late, and that was a chance to just split B, find the solo man in Testes, and win the round. Cadian, he gets his one pick in mid, even despite a couple of whiffs, and then he just lives, and that is everything to keep the pressure on Finest constantly. They can never get comfortable in the post plant, and Cadian is just putting his team in his backpack right now, desperate to win this playoff match on the stage. And Heroic, they certainly are giving us a good argument for it. 9 rounds already on CT. Is there any stopping them? Do Finest have anything left up their sleeve? They've had ample opportunity in some of these rounds, favored there as well, just by position alone, let alone numbers. But Heroic keep robbing them.
I kind of hope we see him go back to something like with the pacing of this round, where it's all kind of, pretty measured, pretty defaulty, and then you have someone like Shox just trying to find these gaps, find this space, because he's a real talent at doing that.
Oh dear. Now the second orb's out, now more problems rear their heads. Down pick Shocks out of the round. The aforementioned man gone immediately. And Heroic just peel back again. Canadian stays orb on the B corner with flashes ready from Tesses. He's going to re-peek. He kills one, the flash comes in, he goes back for more. Cadian's hungry, and dinner's about to be served. Flick, not there. Twist breaks his silent streak. First kill on the board.
Yeah, Cadian actually hit that just through the, the lip of the wall.
That's fast.
Because Twist got taken down to 34 health. Nothing else came in to do damage. Okay, now they start to pick up the pace. Finest have got the opener they were looking for. These flashes, this onslaught of utility is making life real hard for Finest. And Arcade's going to try and get out of there. And right now, Kriaz has got all this space on the A bomb site, but they're right behind him. They're chasing him down. He just about gets around the corner. And Arcade is going to choose to pick his battles. And he goes back in. Only good for one. Just Kriaz left standing. And they swing him together. Heroic. 10 to their name. Double digits locked in. And it's a fighting stance here in the first half of play out of the Danes.
Yeah, and Heroic just now know they're in their heads, right? That's why they're throwing themselves into fights. It's a little audacious, it's a little crazy, but it's just a solution they need. Running and swinging mid together to close the round. Kriaz, he held for a second, but he didn't have long. He had to make a play happen. Comes in with a gun immediately, surrounded by these pistols, but Heroic. What a recovery given the embarrassment that was Vertigo. Katie's sitting in the Molotov. He really wanted that shot off. Stam pushes ahead of him. Another molly. It's actually Twist to burn him out right at the end, but it's not the end of the world. Heroic hold a 4-on-3, and with only one gun in the hands of Finest, what is there to do?
If you think you found a gap here, if you think you found a chance, you haven't. Cadian is just barreling down this angle right now, and he doesn't miss those. It's a freebie. That's the bomb caught crossing as well. They've smoked it, so they can retrieve the package. Shox has been able to get his hands back on it.
No way.
Cadian. Oh my God. He's walking through the backstab. And there it is. Heroic up onto 11. They don't even break a sweat as they're dominating this third map of play.
You can just see him considering it and thinking, okay, I'm going to give it a few seconds. You can't hold this smoke forever, can you? And this is just an assault for Heroic. Battery. As Finest can't even get their footing on the T side. They had the pistol. They had one eco win on the A site when Heroic saved after Anarchist double pit entry with a Tech 9. Other than that, it has been all Heroic. It was worth the wait for the third map. Pick themselves up by their bootstraps. Pick does come through the smoke. Anarchist found Refresh after spamming Twist through the middle smoke. That's crazy alone. Poor Twist, 2 kills, and he just gets shot. Full RNG for Refresh. Nice flash back in. Stown hanging around for more, looking for a second kill. Might just find it. Sees Pleasant and would rather keep the round intact than give it away. Smoke nade and more damage for Heroic. Not that they need it. Oh dear.
Oh my God. Stown, insult to injury. That's the bomb tumbling away. And I mean, even though Pleston's good to grab it, Stown knows about it. He's just hoping, praying that one of these bullets connects. It's the same for either side. And nothing's found right now. 2 versus 3. Look at Shush's position as well. Just to safeguard the round, if Finest do try to turn around and go back, they're going to walk into an aggro apps player just holding the full back angle. This boost is nice, right? There's util on Finest. They can smoke CT. They can smoke the coffins. And so the boost gives Heroic an angle to still fight in this execute. Right now it's contact, but that's about to change. Pleasant getting deep in.
Oh. That's dirt. Tesses can throw himself into the fight. He's in the smoke. He's playing for glory. You can't win the round here, Shox. They're coming at you, and he will get run down again. It's Heroic all over the board. 12 rounds right now, a near flawless half. And CT side reigns supreme yet again. This is a heroic that we want. This is a contender for the title, the favorite to win it all. They've got to pull it all the way back from the lower bracket, but this is a start.
Yeah, man, this has been brutal. I mean, as third maps go, this is ludicrously one-sided, and it's not really showing too many signs of turning around anytime soon. You know, as favorable as CT sides have been as of late, if you only end up with, 2-3 rounds at the end of that first half moving into your CT side, if you don't win the pistol, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah.
So, you don't envy this position that Finest are in. They've done an incredible job throughout this event of defying expectations, even, dominating Heroic on Vertigo in this series. But here on Inferno, the experience is shining through, the tenure, the pressure feels off for Heroic. They look determined to just win this one and win it dominantly. And everyone's playing up to their level right now. There's not a weak link in sight. Heroic haven't stopped since winning that force buy in the second, right? They've been lights out since, whereas Finest, they've never even managed to get that ball rolling. Flash into Banana, this is all heard. Contact now made by Stown, who's being very overzealous in these engagements, but that comes with the territory of a 12-2 game.
Oh, careful. Little jump for info almost gets him killed as a result. Stown's committed. Oh, the wallbang connects for Cadian, and Stown somehow doubles down. Bomb loose, Scout spotted, and Heroic, they may as well just throw themselves back in, jumping with flashbang. Stown is aggressive, and he is oppressive. 18 and 6, a 3K with a 3KD. It's Heroic looking for 13, and Shocks on the lurk has had no impact in this position. He's about to be shot in the back of the head unless Refresh wants to make it a knife instead. It's Stown to steal all the glory, and Heroic making a statement on the CT side of Inferno. It's one of their go-to maps, and we can see exactly why. And at this point, Harry, the pistol round feels almost unforgiving, feels almost unimportant, as Heroic have more than enough breathing room to close out this match.
Yeah, man, this is also like a rough part for a team that's still very much going through their glow-up phase to have.
Yeah.
They're not going to have all that experience to draw upon and kind of channel that energy in a constructive way to build back into this. You can imagine they're feeling a little destroyed right now. This was a series that they made very, very exciting. They kept Overpass reasonably competitive, considering it is a bad map for them. They showed up in a big way on Vertigo, but here on Inferno, what is the middle ground for these teams? Kind of the most even-looking comparison we could hope to have. It's Heroic all damn day, and they're showing that with one hell of a scoreline, 13-2, and if they win the pistol, it's all guaranteed. If they don't, it still feels as good as done. So let's see what they're able to field here. Finest with a quad top mid setup. That was pretty much a guaranteed kill onto Cadian. He had very little he could have hoped to achieve there. And now they're going to start to scramble bodies back over towards B, where Twist currently resides alone.
Yeah, he's had some serious trouble on this map, has Twist, after performing very well in both the other two. Ooh, Tessa's tag heard through the smoke. It's fine to play a retake here. They have a kit, they have a smoke, they have a chance. Bomb goes in an alternative spot here, and Stown has thinned the herd. He gets smoke shot as a result. Can only celebrate for a second. Refresh committed. Tessa's chasing, and the Glocks are out, running around corners. Tessa's gets 2. This one is falling apart. It should have been a retake round for Finest. Instead, the kills are coming to them. Tessa's still hunting, hungry for more. And the Glock up close favored against Kriaz. He's going to fall though. Refresh got to clutch it now. 1v2 looks the wrong way, and just about 4 Shocks on the bomb with no kit, but he should be okay. Finest find a pistol, they find a third, and the comeback dream begins here or never.
Yeah, it's a long old way to go, and you cannot get ahead of yourself, even in the first half, right? They Finest now on both pistols in this game, and the scoreline is still at 13-3. So we really need to have them rise to the occasion in this anti-eco round, man. We cannot afford to have this one just get stolen away. That would be the game, that would be the series, and it would be Finest's time up on the big stage coming to an end. So yeah, they've got to hold their own here in this anti-eco round that's about to follow. Winning the pistol is a nice step in the right direction, but it's a marathon, not a sprint here for Team Finest.
And keep in mind, every pistol Heroic have won in this series, they've converted with no problem. Every pistol Finest have won, they've been reset immediately, right? It happened back on Overpass, it happened here to start as well. And so, not an easy way to do it. Heroic, surprisingly, not going to force. Could have easily argued for AK armor here, but they want to get their guns in as soon as possible. And if they get clean swept here, that's only going to keep SMGs in the hands of Finest going into an actual gun round, which, if anything, is of the benefit of Heroic. Let's see if they can find any damage anyway. Through the smoke, Flash doesn't really do it. Twist can see everything, but only for a second. Tessa's trades, and Anarquez is fast on the flank. Now the rifle can re-swing. He hears the players turning around in Banana. Anarquez is here to close, and it's just Cadian alone.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love that from Anarquez, man. He loses the banana player, and he knows that his teammate there is getting pressured, and so he goes, you know what? I'm gonna disrupt this entire thing by just running it down mid. They've pushed the banana smoke to make this happen. Right now, they can't even deal with me. I'm gonna be kind of, you know, soaking up the scraps that are still coming in up banana, and it allowed for that like pincer movement just to contain an anti-eco round. You know, we were really stressing the importance of actually converting this one for Finest, and they take the measures to make sure that happens. Anarquez bringing out an early AWP on the back of all that money made. Let's see what he can do with it. Boost up in middle. Heroic are right here, man. They're deceptively close, considering that boost only just spotted the mid-fight.
I love that smoke for Heroic. Is that on purpose? They've just thrown this like leg showing one way at top long. If Shox peeks, they can see his feet, so very strange smoke. Still gives them the freedom of CT's not having that information. They're going to go back to B. They're going to go quick as well. Spawn smoke, flashes, fly in. Finest hide out at the back of the bomb site. Smoke used. Can't throw it on the molly now. Krias has to use it as a doorway to a different position. Going to the pillar. Twist is spotted, but nice shot as the flash comes in from Spawn. Tesses will respond, and a smoke spam on the lip. Krias is dead. Shox has to save the day on his own in the middle of the site, and as the fade comes in, Refresh gives us the trade. 3-on-2, plant allowed.
They're all pretty low on the side of Heroic. Maybe Pleston could do something here. Anarquez is kind of floating in with the AWP, but it's really not ideal. He's likely going to keep this pretty measured, pretty passive, and stay back towards Spawn, leaving an option to save open if Pleston can't find results. Starting to creep in. Oh, no. He makes noise on the jump, and now, I mean, he's in a rough old world here, is Pleston. They know exactly where he is. Everyone's tuned in. Everyone wants to fight this. They will go giving him that engagement, but now he's just going to die to the bomb instead. That's not ideal here for Finest. They didn't even attempt the round, and they're only going to get out with one man surviving when all is said and done. Heroic back on the board as soon as the AKs come to play. They're not messing around here. They took a full eco to facilitate this, and they immediately put results up.
Yeah, I mean, they make the right call there. They keep the AWP, but at what cost, right? There's almost no comeback room left for the folks on Finest as Heroic just explode into the B bomb site and make it look easy. 14-4, last chance saloon here for Finest. Putting everything they've got, pinching pennies. Shush gonna flash them up banana. Heroic will give it up though. Plenty of util coming down from that triple setup. Krias waits with a flashbang from the coffins. Finest fight middle with the AWP. Anarquez, it's rounds like these where he's got to be the first point of contact. He's got to get himself involved. But Heroic wait for a mistake. An overstep, an overpeak can cost you the round, especially on Inferno. The timing of that mid-smoke fading is awful. Tesses is about to walk out boiler. Anarquez just gets away.
Yeah, big move, right? To still have that AWP in play. Still holding down the long side. Heroic start to group over here to Banana now in a weird abstract way. This is kind of what Finest want. This is actually the preferred hit out of the two. Might not have the strongest weaponry here, but it certainly has the most numbers. Twist is getting flashed in for a peek, sends himself out into the open at Banana, and doesn't live to tell the tale. Anarkez's AWP is removed after one, and this will come back in to the A-bomb site after all. Shox, he's all alone. He's just one man down in the pit, has to do it all, or else Heroic are going up onto 15, and he's dead right away. Cadian's held down alongside, and Kriaz 1v4, not destined to win this round, not supposed to win this round, and he's out of here. Bomb now down for Heroic, and they're on their way to 15.
So reassuring to see, right? It's got to hurt for Finest, especially to lose in the least competitive map of this series like this, but at the same time, Heroic, we've said it every single day of the tournament, it's theirs to lose. The favorites, looking for the lower bracket run all the way to the grand finals. 1 round away now from that consolidation match against the loser of Big Astralis. If you're here for that, that will be on later after this BO3. It's just a save for Kriaz and a success for Heroic.
Yeah, I mean, it's very reassuring, right, for the Heroic squad. We were so worried after Vertigo. We were wondering, you know, is this going to be another falling short? How many times can you make excuses? But no, they've doubled down. They've come back into this looking so determined to make up for that lost map. And, you know, for Finest, there's a lot they can be proud of here. Considering they only get the call up, you know, a week before the event, I think they've done a damn good job of impressing us all here. 4 rounds to their name. Can they make it any more? Or is this the end of the line for Team Finest? It's going to come down to a bunch of Deagles and a couple of rifles in play versus the top team at the event.
And Heroic have no reason to go slow. Molly on short. Smoke on long, mid getting taken. Pre-fire D will not connect. Heroic have that bracket control now. Finest just trying to delay what feels to be the inevitable with that smoke on short. But Heroic will happily go back into the B-bomb site, undefended, unguarded, just the one man, the bottom performer of Finest in this map. Twist does have a re-smoke and will be calling for support. But Heroic are in no hurry. 50 seconds. Execute getting thrown in. Not one they even have to commit with. Just playing with their food. Getting every little bit of utility out of Finest before they make their final stop. It will be back at this first site they attempted. Mid crossfire not being held. Plesson's going to have to back out.
Rifle on either side of the map. This is one of them here. Anarkez dead right away. Nothing done on that A1S. This is looking like the beginning of the end for Team Finest. 3v5. Damage on this smoke is wishful thinking, and they've lost all semblance of sight control. Heroic are going for the jugular. They're going for the throat. And with Twist dead in the library, it's looking teed up. Just Kriaz left standing to put a stop to the inevitable. And there it is. Heroic rise to the occasion. They keep on fighting here, and they send Team Finest packing.
Yeah, nothing short of reassuring for a roster that's made to win championships and needs to win championships, and this is one step in the right direction for Heroic. We were a little bit worried after Vertigo, but man, did Down step up in this map after going absolutely silent back on the previous. Cadian as well, his CT side was phenomenal with the AWP, and Finest, I think they do deserve a congratulation, right? They put up quite a show and definitely are contenders for the future on these stages. They shouldn't have even been here at this event. They shouldn't have even been to the playoffs, but they fielded some impressive victories. They took a dominant map against Heroic, and they gave us a show on the stage.
Yeah, they certainly did, man. You know, this was a great series. I know the third map is like super dominant. It's easy to kind of think that it wasn't much to marvel at. And yeah, it might not have been the prettiest watch, but my God, you know, it does give you a lot of faith in what Heroic are capable of when that pressure's on, when they need to step up, when they need to rise to the occasion. And so they're going to keep on fighting throughout the playoffs down in this lower bracket now. We're going to give this one back over to the boys at the desk to break it all down.
Thank you so much, Harry and Hugo. It turned out that the hell and the fire of Inferno was too much heat for the finest to stand. Heroic reigns supreme 16-4. 2-1 victory. Finest should still go away, you know, feeling happy about at least